Budgeting is a way to organize your money so you can better manage what you have and spend less. It's a great way to control your finances, but it's not always easy to do. Hello, fellow entrepreneurs. S.W.McCall here. Super stoked that they're bringing back Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine in the new Deadpool movie. And as always, please subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on our latest tips and tricks. Without further ado, here are some reasons you need to budget your money. Reason number one, if you're not budgeting, you're probably spending more than you realize. I mean, it's easy to think that $20 here and $40 there won't make that much of a difference. But over time, it can add up really quick and cause problems in your finances and in your relationships with your loved ones. When you know what money is coming in and going out each month, it's easier to see where things are going wrong, before it gets out. In addition, if something unexpected happens, like an emergency, or a car repair, then you have the funds available to deal with it quickly without having to worry about dipping into other areas of your budget. Simply put, budgeting will help you control your spending and keep your finances in order. Reason number two, budgeting isn't just about making sure that bills get paid this month. It's also a plan for the long term. See, whenever you have a good budget set up, you can typically set aside money for your retirement savings or college tuition. This in turn will allow you to have money set aside for those expenses when those arise, without putting yourself in the situation where you have to find that money elsewhere. Another benefit of a budget is that it allows you to stay on top of your debts. You see, if you know exactly how much money you have available each month, then you're less likely to borrow money from friends or family when you're in a pinch. And lastly, but definitely not least, having a budget allows you to prioritize your spending. And once again, if you prioritize your spending, that in turn will make everything easier for budgeting in the future. Reason number three, a lot of people feel like they're struggling to keep up with their finances and get to a point where they're living paycheck to paycheck. Most of the time, this is because they're not budgeting their money. When you don't budget, it's easy to feel like you're never going to get ahead. You feel like you're just treading water, and then your financial situation is hopeless. The good news is that you can change this by following a budgeting plan. While it may take a moment to kick in, once you have a backup account to fall back on, even if times get really tough, you'll at least feel slight relief, knowing that you have at least a little bit of cushion to fall back on. Heaven forbid you need it. My recommendation here is to try to get $1,000 saved up and use that as your emergency fund, just in case something does blindside you. And if you use any of it, treat it like your credit card and pay it off immediately every single month. Reason number four, when you have a budget, you know exactly how much money you have available for each month, and you're typically not spending money on things you can't afford. This makes it easier to pay off your debts, and in the long run, it'll save you a lot of money. Not only does this give you the benefit of, once again, paying off your debts, but budgeting will actually help you avoid going into debt altogether in the future. Now, how this works is simply by setting up a goal and sticking with it. When you do that, you're holding yourself accountable. And you'll see that if you ever do run into a rainy day situation, you're not stuck taking out more debt. Instead, you can utilize some of the money that you have put back to help get yourself out of that situation. Reason number five, anyone who's working with a budget will typically set aside money for the 401k, along with an emergency fund, as mentioned before. Now, this not only will help them save for retirement, in turn, it will give them the skills to be able to know how to live comfortably in retirement. Not only does this give them extra money to fall back on, heaven forbid anything does come up, but if they are in a situation where they aren't bringing in a lot of money during their retirement, they will be able to utilize their knowledge of how to budget in order to adjust their budget to match their lifestyle accordingly. This in turn will allow them to make sure that they have that emergency fund and to ensure that they can live the most comfortable retirement imaginable. These have been 5 reasons you need to budget now. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe so you don't miss our latest tips and tricks. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will answer what I can. Also, if you watched this video up until this point, you're most likely financially focused, so make sure that you watch this video on why you should start budgeting immediately, as we will cover more reasons why this is important.